Hello everyone, Theatos here, and this is once again a video about some original hardware. However, the complexity this time is a bit on a different level. What I have for you is this sound card that I designed from scratch with a PC104 interface. But first of all, let's have a look on what PC104 is. It is a very compact and modular PC form factor that dominates all the industrial applications. Typically the boards have these dimensions here, and this is less than 10 by 10 centimeters, and the boards stack this way. So typically one of these boards will be the processor, the other might be the graphics card, and then there is a variety of other expansion modules. Now, regarding these connectors that are also part of the standard, the original standard defined only the PC104 connector that has 104 pins, and that's why this name. This connector is an ESA bus connector. Then it was expanded to the PC104 Plus that also has this PCI connector that is a 120 pin connector. And PC104 still lives with new revisions, though these revisions do not have ESA anymore, and even these days include PCIe connections. So back to my device, this uses the standard PC104 connector that is effectively an ESA bus. And the main sound chip is here the ESS Audiodrive ES1869F. This is very interesting and highly compatible with DOS and games chip. It supports a lot of standards like Sound Blaster, Sound Blaster Pro, but also Windows Sound System. It also has a high quality FM synthesizer, the ESFM, that in theory is a superset of OPL3. Yeah, in general this chip is highly compatible, but okay, maybe it's not perfect. And I will link below a few reviews done by other people. Then my sound card also integrates a Dream MIDI synthesizer. And this of course is the very popular SAM2695. That is the same chip that is used in Dream Blaster S2 and on my own devices called G-Dream. You can check the video up here if you want to learn more about this. So now back to the sound card. We also have a modern and high quality audio amplifier. And of course all the capacitors around here are of the NP0 type or some very high quality Panasonic electrolytic ones. Finally you have a game port to connect any gamepads or joysticks, a CD-ROM in, and the ability to direct connect the PC speaker. This input is cleared by the audio chip and then mixed with audio control to the PA. So more or less I have kept all the features that are relevant to a gamer. That's why I named this sound card ED104 Gaming. E stands from ESS, D from the Dream MIDI Synthesizer, 104 is the interface, and gaming is this variation. So in the end, this one is like combining a standard ESS Audiodrive ESA sound card with a Dream MIDI synthesizer in the PC104 form factor, but also has the additional benefit of improved quality in the audio output and the PC speaker in function. There are not much more to say here. This is version 1. While this one worked quite nicely, for sure this is an early prototype, and it gave me the opportunity to experiment a lot with the circuitry here. So I have already improved a lot the PA and the PC speaker in function. So the next revision, I think the 1.01 will be the final one. If everything goes well, I will probably have this in 1 or 2 months from now. So it's time for some tests, and unfortunately I don't have any CPU modules in the standard PC104 format. So I mean CPU modules that are 10 by 10 centimeters. But I have this ESA type motherboards here that can accept PC104 expansion modules. Now normally such a motherboard you will plug it into a backplate like that, and then you plug your 80 power supply here, and gives you the ability to plug more ISA cards. But alternatively you can plug power in this connector or this connector here, and then just use some PC104 expansion boards. So let's plug this here. Yeah, it's important to put this correctly, and then you just push it in. Normally all expansion modules should have the full dimensions, that is 10 by 10, as is defined by all these 4 holes. I did my device smaller just to be more compatible. The reason is that if your main board is PC104 Plus and also has the extra PCI connector here, a full-size PC104 connector will actually block the extra connector. And also, as we can see here, when you use this with ISA type motherboard, many of them have connectors in this area. So being smaller, it's actually helpful. Now, in case you are wondering, yeah, this is a 486 board, and this is a socket 7 motherboard with a SIS chipset. It's an old SIS chipset, but this is quite good actually. The bus goes up to 90-95 MHz. Also, this one is a standard 80 power connector. This is something quite rare because usually you have some strange ones. So in the end, all the tests I did was with this one, and I replaced here the buzzer with a pin header. That way you can plug here a cable that goes directly to the input of the sound card. So first of all, I will do some audio quality tests, and I will compare my sound card against a standard ESS Audiodrive sound card using the same system. The way I did my test is capturing the output of the sound cards using my main computer. But keep in mind that at the time I did this test, I did not have any high quality audio cable. And of course the sound card in my main PC is also nothing special. Either way, as we will see, there was a difference between these two. So what I did, and yeah, the most basic test, is to have the sound card play back a full sweep on the frequencies. First only on the right channel, then only on the left channel, and then both of them together. With the first two tests we can see the crosstalk between left and right channel, though I don't know if this performance is affected by my recording setup. So there are a few quick things that someone can check here. Let's say you select this region and you check the spectrum. So with blue is the frequency response of this channel, and green is basically the noise recorded in the muted channel. So this is for the original ISA card, and this is for my card. And you can see my sound card has reduced crosstalk noise, especially in the high frequencies, but also the strength of the signal is higher. Yeah, the PA in my card is configured to amplify a little bit more. And I should also note that my card only uses 12 and 5 volt. This is important because most sound cards typically use also the negative voltages, especially minus 12. So with this sound card module, there is a high probability that you would only have to provide the positive voltages to your mainboard. Now also we can check here the muted region, and if we compare this again with my implementation, in this case you can see here is a bit lower. Of course this is an early prototype, and yeah, as I said, my recording equipment is not the best, but the conclusions here are that there is a little bit less noise in the lower frequencies and improved left-right channel crosstalk that affects the higher frequencies, in combination with a stronger output that in the end will give a better SNR. So here we are in Windows, and this is the mixer. Very standard stuff. I just have set everything one click below the maximum. And I have selected the wave output, the FM synthesizer output, and the auxiliary B, that is the MIDI synthesizer. Everything else is muted. If you want the PC speaker function, you can also enable this. I have noticed that if you increase the strength of the PC speaker, this will introduce a little bit of noise. This is not something that is easily avoidable, but I'm working on this. And in the end, even in this low setting here, the PC speaker is loud and clear. Then in those things are actually very simple. You only have to run this go batch file, And yeah, two are the important lines here. This one configures the sound card, and you can set your desired IRQ, DMA and other resources. And then this line here is to configure the volume mixer. V is the master volume, L is the line in, W the wave, M the microphone, C the CD-ROM, S the FM synthesizer, A the MIDI synthesizer, and finally P the PC speaker. Everything maxes out at 15, and the only exception is the PC speaker that maxes out to 7. But in general, yeah, I just put here 1. PC speaker is a little bit too strong, so that's why the 1 here. But in the next revision I will improve this. So here the only thing you have to do is to run go, and you will get this configuration. So enough with the talk. Let's check a few MIDI files. I will play them first with a ESFM synthesis, and then with a MIDI synthesizer. Well, not bad, but certainly not perfect either. Well, the MIDI synthesizer definitely makes a difference here. So it's very nice to have both these options, because some games might only support FM synthesis. It's now time to have some fun, and I will start with Doom 2, configured with general MIDI option. Well, you get the idea. Two things are for sure. The first one is that this little device has a very good sound quality. And the second one is that I suck at playing Doom 2. So once again, the MIDI synthesizer sounds very good. But it's time to check a few more interesting things. So now time for some Commander Keen. And yeah, this is interesting because Here we have an option to use PC speaker sound effects in combination with ad-lib music, and this is something that can only be done with a sound card like that. So first of all, let's see how this combination sounds. Now let's check the same thing, but this time with Sound Blaster sound effects. Well, I don't know, certainly the Sound Blaster effects are more refined, but for some reason I find the charm to how this game sounds with the PC speaker effects. So how about some Indiana Jones 3? This has a soundtrack that is purely played in the PC speaker. Then I will go with Dizzy. This is another one that has a very good support for PC speaker, but also for ad-lib. Let's first check the internal speaker option. And let's now try the ad-lib option. This is the FM synthesis. And the FM synthesis of this ESS chip is quite good actually. So let's now try some Monkey Island with the option for internal speaker. And then let's do this again with Adlib. Not bad at all. But let's now check something different. Then here I have a world-class golf. And what you just heard is actually a PC speaker. This game does not support any sound cards, and all the effects are generated by the PC speaker.
From my vantage point, it looks safely in the fairway.
This audio too.
Looks like he hit the tree, Jim.
Yeah, I suck at this game too. I think this is a good point to end this video. If you liked my little device, show it by doing the usual. The development is going very well here, and the final version will be available soon. I will keep you updated. Please also subscribe if you don't want to miss any of these updates. So see you again next time.